front of the camera.
And it's Maggie behind.
And this is a fantastic sample from Carol of our 1 in 12 suitcase die. She's filled it with all sorts of goodies, so it's a memorial. She's used the suitcases to put her special memories in.
It's a great idea, isn't it?
So anyway, she's done a fantastic job here. So that's Carol's.
I'm so sorry about the drilling you can hear in the background. That's our neighbours.
So yes, not much we can do about that. I'm afraid. Anyway, so this one is one that I did, and then it just opens up, and I've lined mine, and I'll show you how to. I did that in a minute. There we go.
Beautiful.
So I did that one, and now we're in focus. There we go. So that's the 1 in 24 one. So if I put it with this one, you can see the difference in scale. Okay, and this one doesn't open because it's got too fiddly. And then I also did a leather one, which I quite like. So that's done with soft leather that I had a little scrap I found in a doll's house fair, I think. So that's when that opens up, and then I've got a lining in that one as well. So that's a 1 in 12 die. So that is the main body of your suitcase, and that's the lid. And it's in 2 separate parts, so you can get it through your small die cutting machine. It was in 1 part, but I've done it in 2, so you do it in 2 parts. You cut those out, and then the 1 in 24 is 1 piece, which is that one, and that goes through. And you can see you've got your cutting lines there, and you've got your embossing lines as well. So I'll put this one through the machine, and you'll see what you get at the end of that. So I'll just use any small machine will fit.
They're so noisy today.
I don't, is it one in the corner?
I think it's the renovation people.
Oh, is it? Okay. So I'll just put that through the machine. Take that out. And then it cuts it like so. So on here I can just see on here that I can just about see the embossing lines, but I'm going to make them a bit more noticeable. So if we put it that down, keep the cut out back in the die, and then you can use a steel ball tool. I'm using the bottom end of the Teflon pencil we have, and just go over where the lines are, and it will just deepen the embossing bit, so it will just make life easier for folding in a minute. So just keep it in place and just go over, just turn it round, and you can see, can you see that? Does that come up yet? I'll put it to the camera and you can see. Right, there we go. There you go. Can you see the lines a bit better now?
Yeah.
Can you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Sorry.
Right. So she's awake now.
You just woke me up.
So when you get the lines like that, then what I tend to do is I fold them in and then back out, and you want to fold all your lines and then give them a good squidge with your Teflon tool to get nice and sharp.
I think you mean a burnish.
A good burnish. Well, okay, technical term, burnish apparently.
Burnish.
So if you just lift it up towards you and then back down again, you get a nice crease there. So I'm just doing it with my fingers at the moment, and I'll just finish it off with the Teflon tool in a minute. Because that way, if you get nice crisp creases, then your suitcase will be nice and crisp. Unless you want it, if you want it battered, then it's easier to do it after you've done it. So make it up properly and then just bash it after that point if you want a beaten up one. So just bring that across and then pull that across, and then oops, make sure you get creases in the right place. I'm sort of doing it at an angle, which is not easy. There we go, like that. And then you want the top bit over as well. If you're having a problem with this, put it back in. Can you see that one? You can't see that crease that well. So put it back in, and then just make sure then you can go over again. Oops. So this will work with any of the dies. So you see the crease a bit better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so put that towards me. And again, on this one, because it's a long one and it's a long thin strip, you don't really want to bend it out of shape. So I tend to use the edge of the die, put it up to the crease, and just move it over like that.
Perfect.
Okay, so then you get the crease where you want it without distorting the other side of it. So just push that back. Give that a squidge. And the same on the other side. Again, if you think it's going to bend over when you don't want it, just put your die on there like that. Move that across, and then you can bend it back. Okay, and then it just folds in like that. Okay, so that's your flaps. So, get your tool. Get a good squidge.
Oh, what are you doing now, Kay?
I'm doing squidge. I'm thinking I'm squidging, but I don't think I am. What am I doing?
You're burnishing.
I'm burnishing. Just give everything a good. All that again. I didn't fold that one properly, so just put that one to me.
You just want a really crisp fold, don't you?
Yeah, you want like you could just do it finger fold first, and then burnish it to get it nice and crisp. So that's squidge. Whoops, squidge. Can't do that. So what you find on your paper weight, this is the 1 in 24. So this card is thinner than the 1 in 12, which I shall show you in a minute, because the smaller it is, thinner the card is. Otherwise, if it's too thick, you'll just find it gets too bulky and you can't stick them together. It doesn't look right. Okay, so that is a thinner card, and then the 1 in 12, which I've already folded, that's a lot thicker. I don't know if you can see the difference.
No, you can.
So yeah, so that's a lot thicker, and that's a thinner card because it's a smaller piece. Okay, that will apply to all of them. So you're going to put those together, and then you're going to just glue them straight like that. Okay, so I'll get the glue.
Where's your squishy thing?
It's at home. I quite like using it with
Sorry,
that.
I'm just coming
So just put a drop of glue. You don't need very much, and I would use glue opposed to tape. And then just hold it on there, and then just hold it in place. And you can do that with a pair of tweezers. Just hold it in place with a pair of tweezers, like so. Okay, just rest a few seconds. And if you've got a bit thicker, then what you can do is use clips, which I shall disappear off and get some clips in a minute because I've got to put them on.
I would do it, but
She's stuck in the
have
corner.
to crawl under the table.
She's stuck in the corner, and
I might demolish everything.
yes, it's easy if I just stop the video and go get them. Okay. And then, so when you get to this piece here, this applies for both sides. This tends to apply for both sides. Is the bigger one, you'll do the box first, and then you do the lid, and then you join them together. But this one here, what you can do then is bend this one back, and then you can squidge it at that point. If it doesn't make sense. So I put a little bit of glue here and here. So quite simple to put together. So there and there, and then just make sure they're nice and square. Okay, and don't try not to over glue it. I think I put a bit too much glue on. Right, is that in the centre? That's it. Okay, and just squidge that.
Sorry, were you asking me a question?
Well, I was wait. You weren't awake.
I wasn't paying attention. No, I was playing with a suitcase.
I'll get told off all the time.
I know. I was playing with a suitcase. Just think we need a Paddington and marmalade sandwich.
That's it. Not
I forgot to ask, what glue are you using, Kay?
Well, like PVA binder glue, of course.
Glue.
Of course. Is there any other type?
It sticks really well.
Okay,
though, so.
and fairly quickly. And as you can see, then I'm just going to need to do the flaps for the front bits. So I'll just do those little bits. And these are quite fiddly. So you just put those, drop of glue, and I probably got too much glue in there. Just take a little bit off on each one. And again, you're just going to squidge these, and just to hold them in place with your tweezers, like that. Do this in the air. Normally you do it down here where you can see what you're doing.
You're doing a very good job.
Okay, and then hold that. Whoops. And then.
How many of these have you got made at home?
I haven't got that many actually, surprisingly enough. I've been doing flowers for the workshop, so I've been doing those. Need to do some more of these though, because these are quite fun. I'll be doing these on the demo day. So we've got a demo day, which is on the March or something or rather.
I think is it March the 8th?
Yeah, I think it's March. It's a Saturday anyway. It's March the 8th that weekend. I think it's the 8th. It's a Saturday, and we've got demo day, so I'll be doing these
details on the website. It's free to come, free parking. You might get a cup of tea and a piece of cake.
You might do. You might well do.
I don't know why I'm saying might. You will do.
Okay, and then that is your suitcase base done. Okay, and I'm going to stop the video in a sec, and I'm just going to get some clips. I'm back with clips. So this one here, I've already cut out. I'll put the chair in my place. That's it. Okay, so this one I've already cut out. Yeah, that cut out. Okay, and I've already folded. So I'm just going to literally stick this in one. This is the 1 in 12 and the base. So I'm just going to put the glue on sides, and then I'm going to use the clips just to hold them together. So get them like that, and like just hold those together. Again, the same on the other side. So, so we wipe off any excess glue on here. Okay, oops, clips. Hold those in place. Makes not a lot of boxes on their own actually if you don't want them as so inside your drawers if you've got little bits and bobs, particularly for miniatures.
Yes.
So you've got your base there. Okay, so you just leave that to dry for a sec too. And come on to the top, which is gone here. Okay, so I've folded that one. So I'm only going to stick then these pieces together to make these corners. So push that down and just give it I'll give it another
burnish.
I think I did do it burnish, but I would make sure I got another burnish out of it because you can't do that too many times apparently.
You can't.
So,
What are you using to burnish it?
I'm using a Teflon tool, of course. I did say earlier on I was using
I was
Teflon
just
tool.
testing.
As I was awake. Sorry, she's moved from the corner now. She's sat on the chair.
I'm sat on a chair like a pixie now.
I did wonder how long she'd last in the corner standing.
No, it wasn't that. I was leaning against the wall, and because we've got the vinyl stickers there, I was sliding. I could feel myself thinking, I'm going to fall over in a minute.
And that wouldn't be pretty.
No, it would have been
Okay,
very dramatic.
So put that there, and I'm just going to then get the clip. You can see that? And get the clip. And just hold that in place. So these quilting clips are brilliant for this sort of thing. That's it. Okay. And then same again. They do sometimes mark the card though, so if you don't really want them marked the cards, then you can just
Shove a piece of paper between.
you can either shove a bit of paper, which is a bit fiddly, or just hold it for a bit. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do that. Okay. Right. So while they're drying, and before I put it together, I'm going to cut out little bits and bobs that make it look more like a suitcase. So this is the 1 in 12. I'm going to do the 1 in 12, and the 1 in 24 is very similar. So you've got these long strips here, which cut out 2 long straps. So you get these cut two long straps. I'll show you in a second on a rope one. These ones do the big corners of the bigger box, of the base box, and these ones for the lid. Then obviously you've got a label if you want a label. That one is the handle, and these are little bits that you fit over onto there, so the straps go underneath them, so they keep the straps in place. That bit there folds over the middle of your handle, so if you want to wrap your handle around. So sometimes the suitcases have a
Yeah, they do. They have like a stitched leather bit.
yeah, stitched leather bit. So that's what that one does. Might be a bit, depending on your thickness of your card, that might be a bit small, so you might just have to make one by hand. But either way, it should do. If your card's thin enough, that's fine. It'll fit round. Okay, so that's what that does. And then so you can see your handle and your bit that wraps round, and then you've got your little clips that your straps go through. Then you've got your corner protectors on the bigger one, and then on the lid they're a bit smaller, and that's your corner protectors on there. Okay.
What did you cut your handle out of, Kay? Is that cut out of tin can?
No, that's craft. It's
Craft metal.
Yeah, it's craft metal. I've used craft metal on that. You can, if you've got thin cans, they will, our dies will cut a thin can.
Yeah,
But this is done with thin craft metal. And then I stained it a bit. Okay, so I'm going to cut these out, but I'm doing this in quite a thin card. But you could use a thicker card, but that's what I had with me because I forgot to bring the proper stuff with me. But the idea is so you can see how to put it together. So I'll just run this through the machine. So when you open it up, you get. They're not very noisy, aren't they?
What are they up to?
Right, so you've got your strips, which are those. Okay, and they are quite long, so they might be a bit longer than what you need, so they're better to have them too long than too short. So, and they stay in the paper until you cut them out. So I'll just cut those out. So you've got your 2 strips, you've got your label. Again, of course, you can cut that out again if you wanted to use it in a different card, and what have you. Then you've got 4 of these. Again, these have got little marks on them. Lift that up. See, those have got marks in there, so you can do for folding. So you want to fold into quarters. So if the embossing didn't come out, just put them back in the die and do that. But these are quite small. You can probably do this by hand anyway. So just squidge that a bit.
Kay always uses a small die cutter for the miniatures, don't you?
Yeah. So all our miniatures are designed to go through a small die cutter. So if you might have a bigger machine, if you've been doing crafting for a while, you've probably got a bigger machine.
If you've got a big machine, you'll find.
But if you haven't, if you haven't done it before, and
you're only going to do miniatures, then it's worth having a mini one.
So we do make sure that all our dies are designed to go through. That's the reason why the suitcase is the bigger one is in 2 parts.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your handle and little bits there. Okay, so you basically get a table full of bits, and then you can just fold these over. So this one is your handle. Is your handle? No, that's not going to help. That's not going to help, is it? Oh, yeah, no, it's all right to do. There we go. All right, that's it. That's your handle. Okay, so you can bend it there. So you just bend it in front of the little holey bit. And then bend it the other way after the holey bit. And you get the shape, which is a bit on the thin side, but you can get the shape. So I'll turn that that way there. You can see that. There you go. Now you can see. Yeah, and you do that on both sides. Okay. And then obviously this bit here is the bit that that bit there is the bit that you stick to your suitcase. Okay, so that's your handle come up. So you do the same on the other side. So I'm doing it with my nail and just pushing it up and then pushing it back. I tend to find that easier. And then push that way, and you get that. Okay, so obviously when you do it, it'll be a lot neater than when I do it. Okay, and that's your handle done. And this little bit here will fold over. Let's get that off the table. Okay, so it's got little folds in there which you can't see because it hasn't come out. So again, what you can do then is put it back into the die. Just go over to get those folds in. So it's quite small, so just do that. Okay, so you do that for all of them, and then that will fold over.
Yeah, if you have a big machine and you whack it through, it has a bit more
whirly on it. Well, this one you can do it with a bit of a shim if you wanted to, but it cuts nicely. But if you want to do the embossing as well, and then that will fit over that. So if I turn it the other way, then you can see the difference. I'll do the other side. It's a bit paler. The other side's a bit paler. So move it back the other way. There we go. Right, so I'm going to put a little tiny bit of glue on there. And I'll put my handle on like that. Okay, so I've got that. There you go. And then just wrap this round. So just put a tiny bit more glue. Just far too much. Just fold that over. Oops. I'm gonna have to. It's not easy doing this in midair. And let's fold this one over as well. Whoops. I've twisted it a bit, but you can get the general idea. And you'll probably use slightly thicker card than what I've used. This is quite a thin card, particularly for a handle and what have you. Okay, and then you get your handle like so. Okay, so does that make sense now?
Yeah.
There you go. So that's how you use that one. Okay. And obviously you've got your label on there. Oops, let's do that then. Okay, so we've got these little ones as well. So I'll just fold these in. it's quite a simple thing to do. Okay, and then you've got these little ones here, which are little tabby bits. So you've got a few more. That's it, right. So you've got those, and again, these fold over. So you've got those ones there, and just fold that back like that.
And what are those pieces for?
There's to hold the straps in place.
Okay.
Okay, so if you fold them up, and then what you can do, which is what I tend to do, is get a piece of card, a thin piece of card. So you can either cut a strap out, or just do a thin piece of card. So cut a strap out would be more accurate. So this card is thicker than the paper that I've used. So you would put it down on a surface, put this over the top, and then burnish it. And then what you end up with then, you end up with a little step.
So you've got like your fold lines sorted for you accurately.
Yeah. And then that way, you'll have, when you stick it down, make sure you don't have anything in the middle, and then your strap will just go through. Oops. Goes through.
So if you're going to make a lot of these, it's worth having your own little sort of template.
Yeah, well, you can just cut out a strap out of something thicker, which I didn't do, but
just
I could
keep
have done.
an extra one and then.
Okay, so we'll do that. Let's just do one of those for the time being. Okay, so we go back to our 1 in 12. We'll take the clips out. And then, okay, so obviously that bit here is going to stick to the base. So I'll just fold that straight, and then I'm going to stick it to the base like so. Okay, so let's put a line of glue along here. Oops, too much because I moved it. Okay, you don't need to overdo it, but definitely do glue on this. And then you fold that over like that. Okay, and what I would probably do is just leave this to dry for a little while. Make sure it's oops, like right. I'm just going to squidge that together. Right, you can't. I know you can't see anything at the moment. We can have to wait a second. There we go. Right, so I've done that. You can see how I've done that. Okay, so probably needs a little bit longer to dry, but anyway, that folds over, and that is your suitcase. I would probably give it a few more minutes to dry, but we'll roll instead. So then you get your straps. So on your straps, you've got your flat end that I've just cut off, and then this is a slightly shaped end. So you've got a little pointy bit, which is a shaped end.
And that's the bit to poke through the thing.
So you want to poke that through. So what I would do is put a little bit of tape here where you want it. Oops, keep that shut. Put a bit of tape. I've got a little bit of tape here. I don't need a tiny bit.
That's a bit too big.
So you need a tiny wee bit just to keep it in place. Right, so a little tiny bit of tape on here. So right, there are different ways of doing this. This is how I do it, but if anybody else has got an easier way of doing it, that's fine. So a bit of tape.
Oh, that was nearly a swear word then.
Sticky. Right,
You
so
did well, Kay.
I did. It was really well, I thought. Right, just put a bit of tape on there and just work it round. Okay, so it is too long, which is fine. Okay, and then you can just snip off the ends about there. Okay, and then I'm just going to lift the tape up now.
So did you sort of snip it off at the bottom edge of the
Yes,
fold over
yeah.
bit? Yeah.
So when you stick it up, it'll go straight to the top of the base of the
got
suitcase.
you.
Okay, and then what I can do then is move that just out of the way, put a little bit of glue on here. So can we see what I'm doing?
Yes.
So just a teeny bit of glue on there, and then push that there, lift the lid up and put that down. I'm going to snip it again in a minute because that's a little bit long still. Okay, and that should fold over like that when I snipped it. Okay, so just chop that off. There it goes. So that's flush. So that's flush. And then when you go round, and then you put your little clippy bit on. So you can put some more clips on here if you want to, or you can glue this. So I might put another little bit of glue, just a tad, just to hold it in place at the back.
Obviously, if you'd wanted to decorate your case, you would have done it before you stuck the straps.
Yes, yeah.
I know, I realise this is just an assembly one. But
Okay, that goes on there. Okay, and then you do exactly the same for the other side. So this is, you can get a general idea how to do this, but you might not. The other thing you need to make sure is you've got space for your handle. So get your handle up. Just make sure you've got space for your handle, which is like that. Okay, so I'm going to do. I'll do the other strap now. It's got a little sticky bit. I can get hold of it. I'll do the same again. So you can either measure this or do it by eye. I'm doing this by eye, which is about there. I want it to about there. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of tape on there like that. And if you find an easier way of doing it, let me know. Although it is easier if you're not actually doing it in midair. That's it, and just follow that round. It's about even round all the way round. Come back up here. Okay, and this bit I obviously cut out a bit shorter, so I don't actually need to do too much trimming on this. So I hold that like that. Take my tape off. And then put a little bit of glue in place. Stick that down there. Make sure it's over like that. Lift that up and move it down. And then, so this is it. I was just stuck up a tiny bit, so I'll just trim that tiny wee bit off. Oops. What's that? So tiny. That's it. There we go. And then just follow that through. Make sure that's going to go across like that, and then I'm just going to glue that bit again like I did at the back. It just keeps it in place. You only need a drop of glue. And that bit, bring that round like that. Okay, and then you'll stick your handle on. So you put a bit of glue on these pieces. Can you see that?
yeah.
I'll move it forward a bit, and then that will fit in. You just want to estimate it. Okay, so yours is obviously be a lot neater than mine. And then your little bits that you folded over before, which I've lost. I've lost one. Oh, did I put it there? Oh no, there it is. Okay, and that will fit over both those bits. So if you just do that. No. There we go. So you're just going to do is put a tiny bit of glue just on the edges. You don't want to get any glue in the middle at all.
Yeah, because you want to poke the straps through.
Yeah, so you want to do it with the straps. So if you glue it with the straps in place, oops, take that bit of glue out. That's it. Okay, take that bit of glue out. Put them in with the straps in place. Then it should. You should be able to get the strap out when it's stuck.
Perfect.
Oh, they go like that. Okay, and then these ones, I'll just do two. So these ones fit on like that. So I'll put a bit of glue. I tend to put the glue on here. Tiny bit of glue each corner. And then that bit goes over like that. Folds in like that. Fold in like that. Okay. So fold in like that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll do the other corner. And then I'll show you.
Those are the smaller ones you're using, isn't it?
Yeah, the smaller ones for the back,
lid.
for the lid, and then so a little bit of glue on each of the corners. This is a three-way corner, and then protectors. Whoops, go on like that. And fold like that. And again, you can have these. They look quite nice if you do them in narco tape. So you can cut them out in narco tape and you've already
Yeah.
got them. So that is the general idea how to do it. And obviously yours will be a lot more neater than mine. So what you also can do, so on this one here, I've got a liner. So the easiest way of doing the liner is to stick a lining paper onto your top and then cut them out together. So I'll just cut this one out and you can see what I mean.
You need to make sure it's not too thick, don't you?
Yes, you need to, particularly if it's a 1 and 12 one, you don't mean it's not too thick. So I'll stick this through together and then you'll just do exactly what I've done, but then you'll have double-sided. Ideally, the graphic 45 will work well if you do, because that's double-sided, and that'll work well for the miniature one in particular, the 1 and 24. So you've got a little scrap of that.
Do you like a piece of graphic 45?
Not particularly.
Shall I go and get you a piece?
No, it's not necessary. But yeah, you can see, so you've got double-sided. So when you fold it over, I'm just going to get me a bit of double so 45, whether I like it or not. And then when you fold them over, you get your suitcase has been lined. Get that out of the way for you. So I stuck these on with graphic arts artist tack. You can use a permanent one, or we can use glue, but make sure the glue's dry before you cut it out. And then when you glue it together, you get your things lined. So it's nice and easy to do that. And I'll just chop into that.
You can just pop into it.
Goodness sake.
Let's have a little sniff.
Right, okay, so I'm just going to chop into this. There you go.
I'll have that bit back.
Yeah, I'll have it back. Yes. So that's going to be my outside. So if I looked at it, and I could have probably done something a bit better.
So you can pattern match it better?
No, it's better. No, you get the general idea, but you could pattern match it quite well actually,
You could do a really
So-
nice thing.
which I obviously haven't done. But I'll cut this out, and then you can see, and then that's basically how you put your suitcases together. And I'm just going to show you a little scene we've got that Carol just sent in, my DT team, how she's used hers. So look out on our socials for
Yes.
lots more samples. I know there's some fantastic ones to come. So you cut that out. So you obviously then it's a really good weight for making the miniature, the 1 and 12
24.
1 and 24 ones in particular. It's probably a little bit thin for the 1 and 12. But if I just do that, and you can see, I'll just do one corner, and you can see that that's the outside, and then you've got the inside. So any little bits for your graphic 45, they do make particularly nice suitcases and on its own. So that would be really a good weight. Okay, so I'll just show you. I've showed you one.
Can't have any
Carol's
more.
earlier. No, that's all I'm allowed. So this, right, this little scene here
Oh, this is beautiful.
there we go. Okay, so this is the bed scene. So the beds are coming out very soon. Okay, so this is a 1 in 24 scale. So the bed and side tables. So Carol, I think she did this during Valentine's. So I think somebody's in for a good night. So anyway,
So
but
that's
she's
the
used
double bed.
that's a double bed. Yeah, it's a bit sad if it's a single, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, you can see how she's used the 1 in 24 suitcases for underneath the bed. So she used that as a part of a scene.
Great.
So yeah, so she's done a brilliant job there. So that's fantastic. So anyway, thank you for watching. So,
Happy suitcase making.
yeah, thank you for watching. Happy suitcase making. Bye.